G'day everybody, and thank you for tuning in. In today's video, I'm going over 10 ways to help you beat the heat in summertime at Disneyland. So the first tip in Disneyland, going to Disneyland in summertime, is stay hydrated. Make sure you take yourself a water bottle. In Disneyland, there are some water filling stations. Also, you can get free water throughout the park. So if you go into any restaurant, you can get free water. So if like in DCA, if you go to Pim's Testing Kitchen, they do have fountains that you can press and keep water. You'll get a cup of water and you can pour that directly into your water bottle. So if you are going to buy a water bottle, just buy one water bottle in the park and then you can refill it up at the water stations. Save yourself some money at the same time. But make sure you do stay hydrated and drink lots. Dress appropriately is probably number two. You really want to make sure that in summertime you are wearing short sleeves shorts. Don't go too stupid where you're going to get yourself kicked out of the park by going too short. Because just remember that Disneyland does have dress rules and you do have to abide by those dress rules as well to make sure that you stay in the park. But just making sure that you're dressing for the heat. I always recommend, like with these jackets here, you can always roll them up and they fit well under a pram or in a backpack. So if it does get a little bit cooler through the daytime, you've got something to quickly chuck on. Spirit jerseys are also fantastic. So number one, they are a very good souvenir as well, but they're quite light to put on. So if it does get a little bit cooler and you've had a hot day and it's just cooling down a little bit, Spirit jerseys are absolutely fantastic, and I love them for how light and airy they actually can be. So plan your day accordingly. So try to use the mornings and the afternoons for the things that you're going to be standing outside and lining up for. So this way, in the middle of the day when it is at its hottest, you're actually doing the things to help you cool down. So let's use this as an example. Jump down. So in the mornings, I'd be going out and trying to get as many of the rides that the lines are outside, and you're going to be hitting that heat because you're standing in the sun. There's not much shade. You're standing in those lines. Let's take Rise of the Resistance. That line can get really long. There's not a heaps amount of shade. There's a little bit, but that is a long ride and a long line, and that is a lot of it is outside. So that'd be something I'd be hitting up first in the morning, or I'd be doing that in the evening if I've got to line up. I wouldn't be doing it in the middle of the day, because doing it in the middle of the day means that sun is going to hit you a lot harder, and because you're standing still, you're not getting that breeze. It's going to hit you at 100%. That sun and the heat is going to get you. So try to plan your day accordingly. So in the middle of the day, that's where I'd be taking in a show, like going to see the Lion King show, or going into Toontown or getting something to eat, something that'll get you into the shade. Try to, when it is extremely hot in the sun, and number three is just trying to seek that shade, especially during those really hot days. So just making sure that you're seeking shady areas to try to beat that heat. Now, obviously, you can't use Splash Mountain at the moment. Splash Mountain is closed. It's turning into Tiana's Bayou Adventure. But you do have the Grizzly Run. That's a really good water ride. But Disneyland doesn't have heaps of water rides. So because I don't have heaps of water rides where you're going to get splashed on, there's not too many rides that you're going to go down to actually cool yourself down on nowadays. So you want to be looking for rides that have indoor queues. So let's take Indiana Jones, indoor queue. You do have a little bit outside, but it still does have quite a big indoor queue. So use those rides that have the long indoor queues to try to beat that heat. Also use some cooling products. So Disneyland, they do sell fans, or you can purchase some fans in somewhere like Walmart, Target, or somewhere like that. You can get fans that have like a spray bottle connected to it. They're a really good idea because that'll give you some mist and also some spray to cool you down. Another hot tip is to go back to, if you're staying in a motel, get like a hand towel, the ones that you dry your hands with. They're usually about, say big. Roll them up, put it in your backpack. When you're out, and also just take a little bag so you can actually put some water in there as well, or while it's moist. wring it out or put some more water or cold water on it and then put it around your neck, something to cool you down. Disneyland does have a lot of places that sells ice creams or snow cones, that sort of stuff. Try to find some, or even your Dole Whip. Go and grab some Dole Whip to cool yourself down. That's a nice, tasty treat to cool you down. Visit indoor dining options. So going into places where you can sit down. So Alien Pizza Planet, for one, sit down, nice cool area to sit down in. The Plaza Inn, sit down, nice cool place to sit down. These are the places that you really want to seek out with on really hot days so you can actually cool yourself down, sit down, have something nice to eat, refresh, and then you can go back on your merry way. So they have really good air conditioners in there, in those sit-down restaurants. So make sure you utilize that to get away from the heat. With sunscreen, if you are taking sunscreen, make sure you put sunscreen on 30 minutes beforehand. It takes about 30 minutes for sunscreen to actually work once you apply it to your skin. So make sure you do apply sunscreen and then reapply it. Lastly, just remember to listen to your body and just pay attention to how you are feeling. Take those breaks when you need to. Make sure you're drinking water, making sure you're drinking water before symptoms arise. So basically, if you're in the sun and you're getting a headache, one of the reasons why you're getting a headache is that you're actually dehydrated. It's actually one of the forms that will cause you a headache. So if you're receiving a headache and you've been in the sun, that means you haven't rehydrated enough. You're causing yourself you're dehydrating, and that's you're basically your body starting to tell you that you need to do something. So make sure that you do rehydrate. That is probably the biggest key thing out of this whole thing, hydration. Keep that water coming. Make sure you prioritize your health. So if you're not feeling too well, sit down, take that break. Your well-being is more important than Disneyland itself. So make sure you actually look after your own well-being before doing anything else. Take that break, relax, just take Disneyland in and just have a look around, take it in. That place has heart, just take it in and you will enjoy it, but just look after your well-being. And there's some tips to try to help you bypass or get through Disneyland during those summertime heat days, those really hot days. Over here, your temperature is, like for us, we go by Celsius, you guys by Fahrenheit. So I think it's around 96 degrees is some of the like in between June, July, August is usually around your heat. So for us here in Australia, that's around 35 degrees. So it's not in the 41s. It's not like we're kind of used to here in South Australia, but it is still hot, and especially during a park that doesn't have a lot of shady areas. So just make sure that you do look after yourself. If you did find this video helpful, please hit that like button, smash the subscribe button. You guys know what to do. You've done it all before, but as always, I do hope you have a wonderful day. Cheers. Bye.